Evening. Time is now 21 hours. I just check if we do have a quorum to proceed.
Chairperson, we just need to wait for one more member to join in. Thank you, Chair.
Just give that the next 3 minutes.
Chairperson, it's Honourable Mozoni. May I ask a question?
Hi, Mr. Zon. We just had a load shedding at the hotel. I think Chair and few other people that are attending from where I am have been cut off. So I think we need to give them also some time because, we just had a changeover from load shedding to generator.
Nkosi, maybe you can answer me. Given the fact that we're not taking a decision this evening, that we're just taking cognizance of what the two subcommittees agreed to, do we need a quorum?
Oh, just to explain, we due to adopt the two reports, one from the two subcommittees, because after subcommittees have shortlisted, we need to adopt a progress report for noting.
Okay, sorry, I didn't realize that we were actually adopting the reports now. My mistake. Sorry.
Yes, thanks, sir. Thanks. Well, welcome back, Chair. I had already indicated, I made all those that are already on the platform aware of the load shedding and the switch over that just happened. And just to report that we now have a quorum, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ngoma. My apologies, members. The intention was not to be out. The meeting, but it's controlled elsewhere. Thank you for the understanding. Honorable members, let me greet you, greet civil society structures that are on the platform and fellow South Africans following us in the platforms provided by Parliament. Without a really waste of time, I would just dispense with formalities quickly. Let me start first with the rules, just to make sure that our meeting proceeds accordingly. Honorable members and all participants on the platform are reminded that at all times we keep our video cameras off, the mic muted, until at a time when you're recognized by the chairperson. In that case, you will then proceed to unmute your mic and switch on your video camera and proceed to speak. In a case where you are experiencing connectivity challenges, you would indicate for the permission of the chair for you to switch off your video camera in order to maximize the bandwidth and proceed to speak. As from time to time, there may be those that lose connectivity and have to reconnect back to the platform. Please ensure at all times when you reconnect to the meeting that your video camera is off, as well as your mic is muted, as mics are sensitive and therefore could pick up background sounds that can distract a member that's on the platform, the meeting entirely. Whilst point of orders are acceptable in terms of rules, members are advised to raise the hand on the gadget to raise a point of order. If the chair is unable to identify your hand, the committee support will help the chair to identify those hands. And in that case, once you are recognized, only then will you proceed to unmute your mic, switch on your video camera, and proceed to raise the point of order on which the chairperson could rule upon in terms of the rules. Members are advised and guided that they do not raise unnecessary point of orders to a point of collapsing the meeting on this platform. With that, honorable members, if we keep it that way, we should be qualitative in terms of time, but also that our meeting runs smoothly. I will then ask if there are apologies or applications for leave of absence received from committee members for purposes of record. Committee support.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good evening, members and guests. Yes, Chairperson, we have received an apology from Ms. Majosi following. She's busy with the funeral arrangements, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ngoma. May I check if from honorable members there are apologies that may have not reached the committee secretary's office for purpose of record? So there are none. So I would take it that honorable members, we do approve of the apology of Honorable Majosi, and that we can then proceed to the purpose of the meeting. We are convened as a committee in the National Assembly on Communications and Digital Technologies. We are convened today for the purposes of receiving the report of the subcommittees of this committee. One that deals with the appointment process for the filling of the vacancy at ICASA, as well as a report from a subcommittee dealing with the appointment process to fill in the 3 vacancies at the MTDA. So those committees will be reporting. That's the report we're going to deal with. And once the committee has handled the report, then the other processes would then follow. However, I would give once again to our committee support that prepared the report to the committee. Firstly, just to recap on how far we've gone, and in that score, present the report as the product of all the processes that would have been followed, as would have been recapped by the committee support, and will then take matters from that point. Mr. Ngoma and your team, I take it that you'd be ready to do the honors of presenting to the committee.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, okay, can I just proceed to read the report, or do you want me to do the recap on the process that the
report to just capture the process so that the report is understood to be a particular point of the work that has been done by the subcommittees, briefly so, and then get to the report. Yes.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chair, my sincere apologies, Chair. I'm also experiencing some challenge at this side. I will be sharing the report now. Chair, just whilst I'm trying to get this report on the screen, just to indicate.
You are now muted.
I was just trying to use another gadget. I was kicked off. I hope my screen is sharing.
There's no sharing yet.
On the other ones.
Maybe try and switch off the video camera and see if there's improvement.
Yes, Chair. Thank you very much. Chair, this is the progress report of the Portfolio Committee on Communications and Digital Technologies on the filling of a vacancy in the ICASA Council, dated 15 November 2023. The Committee on Communications, having considered the request from the Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies to fill a vacancy in the ICASA Council, reports as follows. A letter was received from the Minister of Communications and Digital Technology informing the National Assembly of the resignation of Dr. Kiabetse Mutimueng as a councillor of ICASA. Was also the chairperson. The minister further requested the speaker to initiate the process of filling the vacancy in terms of Section 5 of the ICASA Act, because of the resignation of Dr. Mutimueng. The committee considered the letter from the Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies and resolved that the Secretariat proceed the process of publishing an advertisement in the media calling for the nomination person to fill the vacancy in the ICASA Council. The advertisement is published in all 11 South African official languages, in national newspapers, 2 regional newspapers, and 7 community media newspapers. The committee received 8 nominations, qualification verifications, and SSA personnel suitability checks were conducted on all candidates. On 14 September 2020, my apologies, on 15.
On my side, I see Mr. Ngoma is gone. Back now, but the audio not connected. Mr. Ngoma. Seems.
I hope I'm connected now.
Yeah, you are better now.
All right. My apologies as I proceed, Chair. On 15 September 2023, the committee met to consider the criteria and skills required to fill the vacancy and unanimously resolved that the following 4 candidates be shortlisted for interviews: Professor Surendra Thakur, Mr. Demetrios Martinez, Mr. Mutibi Ramusi, and Mr. Nkosana Mbokane. The Democratic Alliance supported the names but indicated that the names would be tabled to the DA caucus, and should there be any issues of concern, such will be raised during the public participation period. The names of the 4 candidates, shortlisted candidates, will be published for public comment for a period of 2 weeks, and immediately thereafter, the committee will hold interviews. Chairperson, this report is for noting, but maybe Ms. Mazon would indicate, Chairperson, if she would like us to retain that second last paragraph or to remove it from the report. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ngoma. Honorable members, that's the report. Maybe let me take the comments first, which will include if Honorable Mazoni would want to make that comment before the adoption. The Honorable Mazoni.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Thank you, Mr. Ngoma. Chairperson, I would very much appreciate if that particular paragraph could stay in the document, as we believe the public participation process to be incredibly important in exercising our duties as members of Parliament. We are quite happy with the 4 names as recommended, but as indicated, we will take the names back to our caucus for scrutiny and for acknowledgement of our caucus. Should any problems arise, I will be the first to let you know, both in writing and then when we have a committee meeting. And I look forward to having 4 very good and interesting interviews with the candidates that we have selected tonight. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Mazone. Honorable members, I now present the report before you for its adoption from the committee side. Can we get that indication with the points that have already been raised by Honorable Mazone? And I take it that she didn't have a problem with the report, but let's just formalize the adoption of the report as presented. Am I the one disconnected?
No, we're here, Chair.
Honorable Gumbo, I see Honorable, that Honorable Mtakane on the iPhone.
Chairperson, we have 2 hands up that I see from my side, Honorable Mtakane on the iPhone and Ms. Mazon.
Okay, so I have 3 names. It's just that I'm not sure, because I thought the name that opened the mic, Honorable Gumbo, wanted to speak but could not raise the hand. But it doesn't respond. So let me take the other 2 names. So it seems it's delegated to the veteran parliamentarians. Honorable Mazone, followed by Honorable Mtakane.
Chairperson, thank you very much. It's the first time I've been called a veteran MP. You're making me feel old tonight. Chairperson, I'd like to move for the adoption of the report.
There's a mover. Honorable Mtakane. Honorable Mtakane.
Honorable Chair, I second the mover. I think it is a good report.
Thank you, Honorable Mtakane. See, Honorable Mlala wanted to come in. You're muted, Honorable Mlala. I see your hand. Honorable Mtakane, yes, thank you for muting. Honorable Mlala, your hand is up.
No. I think the report has been seconded, Chair. So I want to second Mazoni.
Thank you, Honorable Mlala. The report has been seconded. Any objection in us adopting the report? No objection. The report is agreed to. I would now ask Mr. Ngoma to present the next report on the MDDA appointment process. Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, I present, this is a progress report of the Portfolio Committee on Communications and Digital Technologies on the filling of 3 vacancies in the Media Development and Diversity Agency Board, dated 15 September 2023. The Portfolio Committee on Communications, having considered the request from the Minister in the Presidency in respect of filling of 3 vacancies in the MDDA Board, reports as follows. A letter dated 10 May 23 was received from the Speaker of the National Assembly informing of a vacancy that arose because of the resignation of Ms. Andiswa Ngwana as a member of the board of the MDDA. In the letter, the Minister requested the National Assembly to initiate a process of filling a vacancy in terms of the MDDA Act 2000, Act number 14 of 2002. The committee considered the letter from the Minister and the Presidency and resolved that the Secretariat should proceed with the process of publishing an advertisement in the media calling for the nomination of a person to fill the vacancy. The advertisement was published in all 11 official languages in 2 national newspapers, 2 regional newspapers, and 7 community media newspapers. The committee received 30 nominations. 2 of the nominated candidates did not submit copies of their qualifications. Therefore, the committee shortlisted from a pool of 11 candidates. Another letter dated 20 May 2023 was received from the Speaker of the National Assembly informing of 2 vacancies that will arise because of the expiry of the term of Ms. Berenda Leonard and Ms. Marina Clark as board members with effect from 31 August 2023. In the letter, the Minister requested the National Assembly to initiate the process of filling the 2 vacancies in terms of the MDDA Act. Committee considered the letter from the Minister and the Presidency and resolved that the Secretariat should proceed with the process of publishing an advertisement in the media calling for the nomination of persons to fill the vacancies. The advertisement was published in all 11 official languages in the 2 national newspapers, 2 regional newspapers, and 7 community media newspapers. The committee received 16 nominations. Qualification verifications of all 16 candidates were concluded by Parliament Human Resources, and the Secretariat awaits the results of the State Security Agency on personnel suitability checks. On 15 September 2023, the committee met to consider the criteria and skills required to fill the 3 vacancies. The committee unanimously resolved that the following 12 candidates be shortlisted for interviews: Ms. Brenda Leonard, Ms. Marina Clark, Mr. Tembelani Mpakati, Mr. Kondile Kedama, Ms. Lize Kamda, Mr. Mbasa Mituse, Ms. Carol Maluleke, Ms. Musidi Mukhele, Advocate Gabriel Melo, Mr. Grandson, Ms. Hulisani Mushiane, and Ms. Jayshri Petha. The names of the 12 shortlisted candidates will be published for public comment for a period of 2 weeks, and immediately thereafter, the committee will hold interviews. Chairperson, just safe to indicate that we will fix all the errors, the minor errors that you see, but what is presented before you inform the content of the report, we're just going to correct the errors and the numbering where it exists. Thank you very much, Chairperson, for table report. Chairperson, from my side, I can see the hand of Ms. Mazon, Mr. Mtakana, and Mr. Mulala, and Ms. Bodlani. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Ngoma. I will then recognize the hands, starting with the Honorable Bodlani, Honorable Takane, who were in the committee, so that if there are matters that they raise regarding the report itself, we can also attend to those. Then would be followed by Honorable Mazon and Honorable Mlala.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chairperson, I beg your indulgence and request that we insert the same paragraph that we have in the previous report about the Democratic Alliance reserving their rights as we consult the whole caucus. Thank you so much, Chair. Otherwise, the report is in order.
Thank you, Honorable Bodlani. Honorable Mtakane. Honorable Mtakane, you are muted.
Thank you, Chair. No, the report is representing our views and our recommendation, and then I'm happy for the committee to adopt the report.
Thank you, Honorable Mtakane. I now recognize Honorable Mlala.
Chairperson, I'm happy to second the veteran.
Okay, Honorable Mlala. So you are closing on the report. I take it that the additional paragraph has been effected. However, the report is supported by the committee. And this will now be the committee report. Yes, it's inserted. So this will now be the committee report that will be submitted, and all other processes would then follow in that regard. Mr. Ngoma, if there are any announcements before we formally adjourn?
Chairperson, I accept to say that Chairperson will be communicating over the weekend with the members in relation to travel arrangements for next week to Limpopo and Gauteng. Members should just bear with us in terms of sometimes sending the flight details at a late stage. But I will, during the course of the weekend, just give the members an indication of what time the flights are scheduled for from the various provinces. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
I think it's an important announcement for members from a point of planning. Of course, honorable members, in terms of the business for this evening, as this committee would have been convened, that would have been concluded. And in that score, the meeting is now adjourned until we meet again, honorable members. Otherwise, still have the good side of the night that remains until we see each other. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good night.